Yes, guys, the Calabar Talk Show with Dave and the David Ocho is expression. Please always forget to point this out. Please always share and like my videos. It's quite difficult for us who don't do funny videos and entertainment to actually get recommendations and subscriptions. Really difficult. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel, and David Ocho's expression on Facebook. Yeah, let's talk about something that is actually worse than masturbation, actually worse than addiction to porn, actually worse than addiction to sex, actually worse than addiction to stealing, actually worse than addiction to whatever thing the society holds dear as things that are quite immoral. There's something that is going on, a pandemic that's quietly going on. You find most of our celebrities and guys who have made it already in the entertainment industry, selling these things out to us, not even in a form that it's in a quiet form like a subliminal message. Actually make it explicit and tell you, use my promo code to get this, and you're going to get this. So the what is being offered is quite interesting, and talking about a country where we have poverty to this extent, it's always going to be interesting to want to attempt or dare you get to win. Yes, sports betting. One of the biggest problems that's in Nigeria is sports betting. And I'm not an economist though, but from my understanding, most of these sports betting companies are not actually in Nigeria. Some of these guys are foreign, people and foreign companies. So which means they take our money outside the shores of Nigeria. And for a country that doesn't actually take back, foreign currency back to its country, I don't think we're going to have a proper balance of equation and economy if the government doesn't come in and start regulating most of these betting companies. But that's not actually the issue. But I just pointed out something that is also affecting us economically. Though I'm not going to get much of proper reception or good reception for this video, because a lot of youths, 90% of youths, are involved in sports betting. Even those that we feel that should uphold good morals, like pastors, imams, whoever, they're involved in sports betting. Almost everyone that you see today, even down to the females, are involved in sports betting. So what is sports betting? It simply gives you this false hope that when you put in 10 naira, 100 naira, you can get 3 million, 5 million. Yeah, but what is the chance of getting 50 million naira, 10 million naira from a 100 naira stake? And what is that? What are your chances of having 10 games actually playing into the probability that you actually guess? What's the probability? To me, it's like 0 to 1 million. I'm actually saying what I've actually dived into myself in January. I actually wanted to experience sports betting, and what I found out was, you guys are those that bet are actually, in trouble. It's a big and serious issue that should be addressed. Now, there's this thing called Aviator I'm not going to call it, I don't want to have issues with the betting companies and all that. There's this thing called the Aviator, and someone introduced me to it. That's one of the biggest scams on earth, the Aviator. The fact is, below it, you see people that are staking 500,000, 300,000, 1 million, and you actually see them cashing out. I don't think that's actually correct. You get? Personally, I lost 20,000 naira in the Aviator, game in 2 days. It sells you this thing that it's very easy to win. That Aviator thing is when you have that plane flying. Trust me, why would you want to put your money in something that you don't control? And these guys have, it's simple. As a science student, it's simply mathematics and logarithms that have been programmed and processed and are actually being monitored to make sure that it doesn't favor you. It can never favor you, because the sole aim of every CEO of every company is to maximize profit. So it's not supposed to favor you. So if you have 3 wins in a row, trust me, you can't have another 3 to 5 wins in a row. So I did Aviator and lost like 20,000 naira in 2 days, in less than even 2 days. And I also got involved in what people call Okpo. That's the virtual betting. And guess what? I lost a whole lot of money from my personal experience. So the sale of false hope from the betting companies from our celebrities that are supposed to be teaching us how to manage our resources, it's annoying. Everyone comes and take my promo code, go and take the 100% bonus. Of course, they'll give you 100% bonus so that you can come in with the false hope that you're going to get something reasonable from them, you're going to become rich from them, and of course you're going to get booked, because how many persons have you actually seen that actually become very rich and become good entrepreneurs, like the Dangote and the $2 and all that? from maybe they got from sport betting. Yeah, some could rake in hundreds of millions and all that, but how do they end up with this cash that they have won? That's why you take it back to the guys because they're addicted to betting. Trust me, you could see in the Premier League, you could see a lot of players lately. This guy from I think Tony was banned for I think 8 months from sports betting. So the addiction is huge. So the rich guys are even the ones that actually addicted, you know. But the worst thing is for you to be poor or broke and actually addicted to sports betting. Like you're basically in trouble. So from a medical standpoint, uh, pathologically, um, people that bet eh, are always going to have high blood pressure. People that bet are always going to have hypertension. They always get anxiety. As a matter of fact, I even have cardiac arrest because just because Mr. A invested 100 million and probably lost it, and it doesn't shake the person, doesn't mean that the man who invested 100 naira, that might be his last card and only hope. You get, so you're always going to have these issues, and these issues can become terminal kind of issues, especially when you are poor. You could be bedridden for life, you know, because of sports betting. Now, when you have a spouse, and let's say you have a joint account, or let's say probably you don't even have a joint account, you have a spouse, this could be very detrimental to marriages. Of course, because the opposite partner who doesn't bet, on getting the fact that you are betting heavily and losing money that is supposed to be used for the purpose of planning your lives, is never going to find it funny, and is never going to be cool with it. So it has brought down several relationships. I'm a witness. I've seen relationships crumble. I've seen men and boys who rely on sports betting. These guys are basically hand to mouth. So like I said, in January I decided to go into sports betting, and my experience was horrible. Of course, the first 1 month, I don't know if it's actually programmed. I was getting things in return, but from February, even the guy that gives me games has told me that he's off, that he's on break from now till December. That he wants to resume in January. So I don't know how much he lost, because to me he used to sound like this. He has so much guts. I'll see something that I think is going to the risk is quite high, and I want to cash out. He say, no, don't cash out. Oh, me, I will not cash out. I want to make sure I hit big. So me, I always cash out because I am personally smart. My mine was of course controlled. I know I was putting money there, and I knew that I would stop putting money there when I want to stop putting money there, and I stopped putting money there when I wanted to stop putting money there. But I wanted to have that experience, and trust me, if I spent just a few months, about 3 months, and it's like that, I wonder how much you guys that rely so much on sports betting, how you guys are coping. Because to reduce the risks, you need a huge sum of money. Let's say you want to take two odds or 1 point something, and you bet 1 million, and the return, reducing the risks, with sure games, and betting huge will give you another 1 point something million naira to like return on investment, double of your investment. You get, but in Nigeria, most of us are broke because it's quite difficult to live in Nigeria. So we are diving into sports betting because we want to become rich, but the promise is completely false. It's completely false, and from a societal point of view, those who involve in sports betting, when you gather around them, or when we're together and probably you have a hangout with them or something, you always see them moody. Sometimes it's not because of family issues. Sometimes it's not because of people don't have anger issues. So the reason they not have anger issues is sports betting. The reason why most people are sad is sports betting. The reason why so many young men are confused and feel humiliated and feel frustrated and depressed is sports betting. And the fact is, nobody is saying anything about it. Absolutely. The whole place is quiet, and this thing is going on, and it's eating deep into families, eating deep into people's lifestyle. It has taken over the day. It is worse than being addicted. This part of your brain that sports betting actually gives hope to. That false hope of you going to be rich. It triggers that part of your brain that drugs also trigger. So you become addicted, and you become a compulsive better. You dey bet, you need to know. You are just there betting. You borrow to bet. Collect salary, you go bet. Okay, my guy actually just caught a staff of his that steals from him. And this guy immediately sent this guy went to buy diesel. Sometimes this guy doesn't even buy diesel. He transfers most of his transactions, 99.9% of his transactions from his account is to a betting app. So he has gotten over, let's say, 500,000 naira from stealing from my friend, but he hasn't actually used it to do anything outside betting. So collect from Peter, give Paul. And just because some people come and say, because you know win, because you know chop, well, It's my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But personally, I think government has to, raise awareness of sports betting more than just what you hear, bet responsibly. I think it should be, but sports betting should be taxed. Sports betting apps and companies should be taxed heavily, heavily, so that most of them can fold up. And also gamblers should also be taxed heavily to be able to access bet platforms so that they can also reduce, drastically. A lot of our money leaves Nigeria because of betting. A lot of persons have lost families and their houses because of betting. I personally think that the federal government should consider, looking into betting and making sure that this pandemic that is eating deeply into the society and into most of Constituents and Calabar boys in particular. Here we need to get work like that. We don't have the opportunities like that. So it's very tricky. I know people wake up in the morning and end up in a poor place in a betting shop and bet or poor money till night and go home with nothing. Somebody give you money for a job, you branch into a sports in a betting shop, you remain there. You haven't gotten material for the job. You haven't done the job, money don't finish because you want to chop money. Greed. Greed, eh? Greed. You want to make a huge sum of money in a short period of time. Greed is a problem. Nigerian problem is not corruption. Our major problem is greed. If we could solve greed, maximize our brains, hope on the God factor, and actually learn a skill, it's going to be better for us. My name is David Otri. I'll be bringing a real life practical advice for profounding solutions. Ciao, ciao.